What's up, gamers? This is a little tutorial for those of you who are just starting accounts on Conqueror's Blade. You just did your storming the battlements, exploiting weak spots or whatever, and you finished that little scenario, and now you're on this screen. And I'm just going to go through quickly which units you should consider picking and which ones you should avoid. Start with the ones you should avoid. The rat and round shields and the domain archers are really weak for this era. And the domain spearmen, iron cap swordsmen, arquebusers, and pike militia are strong. Most certainly pike militia. They're the strongest out of all these units, and so it's mostly just up to the other two units you want to pick, depending on your playstyle. Iron cap arquebusers are the most cost-efficient musket in the game. They do a ridiculous amount of damage for their leadership, and you can really scale up their accuracy and fire rate through doctrines and whatnot. Swordsmen have a ridiculously short charge cooldown, and domain spearmen are super tanky for their cost. They also have really good block and block recovery. So I personally would go with the swordsmen and the arquebusers because they're a lot easier and more forgiving to use, whereas if you go with the domain spearmen, you as a new player, it's hard to tell, or you might not exactly know what to do with spearmen. Like, obviously you want to protect other people, but like which units to protect or zone control and stuff like that isn't really something you know right off the bat, so there's a bit of a learning curve to get the most use out of spearmen. So I would just definitely go with these two. Alternatively, you can go with the spearmen, and I'll explain why in a second here. When we get to this page, if you go with the spearmen, you might also want to go with the squires, so you can fast track your way to unlocking men-at-arms and unlocking spear sergeants, which are actually not bad troops when you upgrade their veterancies, or not veterancies, their promote them to paladins and stalwarts. If you're not going to do that, I would just, or, you know, if you're not worried about doing that, you just want the strongest units that you can pick right out of the get-go, I would pick up halberdiers because iron cap spearmen are weak for their cost. Squires are fine, but they don't deal that much damage, and having a tanky shock troop isn't usually useful. Ideally, you'd use these guys to trade with green troops, but because they wouldn't lose that many models, but I mean, they didn't even do that well, and you're better off just going with the halberdiers because they have a chance, and they have the armor pen and the reach to trade with units higher than them if they can, you know, if you can position them well and whatnot. So that's my recommended starting warband. Hope you guys find this useful. I'll be posting veterancy lines and the related in the follow-up videos. Thanks so much for watching.